At least 60 million people are under winter storm warnings as several storm systems move across the U.S. Iowa could see the worst of it, with more than a foot of accumulation expected in under 24 hours. Those conditions could prove dangerous for travel. Earlier Monday, the Iowa Department of Transportation reported that some roads are already 100% covered in snow and ice. For more, I want to bring in CBS News meteorologist and climate specialist Jeff Berardelli. Hi there, Jeff. So let's talk about that snowstorm in the Midwest. Where is it now and where is it headed?
All right, it's located around the Iowa area, the Chicago area like you were talking about, and that's headed towards the East Coast. This is the setup this week, by the way. Really active Pacific jet stream. At the same time, cold air is stuck across the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest, into the Northeast. And so these two are colliding to make for a very stormy week, really all across the nation, not just the East, but especially the West Coast. And we're going to get to that in a few seconds. But I want to show you what's happening right now. So as you can see, that snow is going to be continuing to fall, and some of it heavy at times as we head through the night into the day tomorrow in places like Iowa and to Chicago as well. Here we are tomorrow morning in Chicago, still snowing pretty heavily. Snow in Detroit, kind of a messy mixture around Cleveland, and snow in places like Buffalo. New York City will have snow in the morning, but on and off throughout the day, not steady, mixed with sleet, mixed with a little bit of rain. Could be a slushy 1 to 2 inches in places like New York, but north of that, Hudson Valley, northeastern Pennsylvania, into some of the Catskills, probably a few more inches than that. And even Boston will pick up a little bit of snow as well as we head through tomorrow. So it is not a big storm, but it's significant enough to drop, a decent amount of snow across portions of the Northeast, especially. In fact, just how much snow are we going to see? Well, this area right here is 6 more inches plus. That's from Des Moines to Chicago. But remember, that area has already picked up snow, so we're going to see over a foot in places like Des Moines. And then east of that, into the Northeast, these bullseyes up here, Catskills, maybe, 6 inches of snow, but New York City closer to 1 to 2, and Boston picking up, a couple to a few inches of snowfall.
Well, Jeff, you also mentioned there's some activity in the west. The central coast of California is expected to get a lot of rain. What is the timeline and how much can we expect?
So this is a really big deal, and it's going to start during the day on Tuesday. And this is going to be the most significant storm perhaps in years for the West Coast. We just went from our driest stretch, 6-month stretch that we pretty much ever seen in the southwestern parts of California. And now, like flipping the switch, we're going to see a tremendous amount of rain on top of burned, dry ground. So we're worried about landslides and mudslides. So I'll show you what's going on. So notice the storm coming in Tuesday at around noon or so, bringing snow to the higher elevations, lots of rain to the lower elevations. Here we are Wednesday at 2 in the morning. Notice the heavy band just south of San Francisco. So Santa Cruz, San Luis Obispo, and Monterey, where really the heaviest rain is. But notice that it stays there. It doesn't move. So this becomes an atmospheric river, a really narrow, very focused fire hose of deep subtropical moisture from the Pacific Ocean over the same area. So here we are Wednesday at 8 o'clock. It's still over the same area. Here we are on Thursday morning at 8 o'clock. Still over the same area. And remember, mountainous, hilly terrain with really strong winds there as well. So we're going to pick up 5 to 10 inches of rain there. And finally, it moves south. But even around the Los Angeles, Santa Barbara area, there could be some pretty significant flooding. We get a little bit of a break on Friday, and then bang, another storm moves in as we head into Saturday. So in total, rainfall is going to be, really tremendous in a very narrow area where you see that purple right there, locally 10 inches of rain. Florida can handle 10 inches of rain. That's not a problem. But California, in the hills, where the ground is not as receptive to rainfall, that could cause some real problems along the coast in California.
Yeah, how dangerous could this be, Jeff? You talked about maybe potentially landslides.
Yeah, and the reason why is especially because, twice the record amount of burned area this year in fire season. So there are areas around Santa Cruz, down south of there too, to the north of Santa Barbara, a couple of burned areas. And wherever those burned areas are, a lot of the trees are gone, a lot of the vegetation is gone, so the ground is not as solid. There's nothing to kind of hold the ground in place, and so you tend to see those mudslides and those landslides. So it is right here that we're most concerned. It's a big fire around this area, and there was another big fire right around that area, so the bullseye is right on top of where the fire areas have been.
All right, so much to keep an eye on this week. Jeff Berardelli for us. Jeff, thank you.